Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Today I'm going to be reviewing, as part of Morrisons' new range review, Screech Owl from Castle Rock Brewery, based in Nottingham. In fact, a couple of miles away from where I live. 5.5% American IPA. First brewed in 2008, and it's become a firm favourite in Castle Rock's core range of beers. And it says on the back, it has all the hallmarks of a classic IPA. Fresh, bright citrus hops, a full-bodied mouthfeel, and a refreshing but balanced bitterness to finish. The first time it was in Sainsbury's Beer Hunt, some beer festival thing, some years ago. And that's the only other time it's been, on draft around the country. So this is the first time it's actually reaching everywhere. And it is a good beer. I usually get this when I do a pub crawl going down Mansfield Road, although half those pubs are closed, but we start off at what used to be called the Forest Tavern. Then it changed its name to the Maze, and sadly it's closed. And they always had Castle Rock Screech Owl rather on the pour on draft. 5.5%, lovely. It's only about time it made it to the shops. So, shall we say, gold to amber in colour. Good lacing around the edge, good carbonation as well. Little white head. Nice hoppy aroma. Oh, that's nice. It's like meeting up with an old mate and being there. Now, I don't often go to pubs, so seeing this in draft is great. In a bottle, rather, is great. And if you didn't know Castle Rock, they do some great beers. They do Harvest Pale, a 3.7% beer. And they do Session, Preservation, I've had all these, Sherwood Reserve, Elsie Moe. They actually did one for Prince William and Kate when they got married. Kiss Me Kate, I think it was. If someone's watching this and I'm wrong, please let me know. And a featured beer, they've got one called Tom Huggan. I mean, at the moment they're doing, I think it's like a drive-through delivery scheme at the moment. Obviously, because it's with the issues of what's going on at the moment. Let me click on the beers. So let's have a look at the core range. And yes, Screech Owl is in the core range. I thought it was. And it says on here, originally brewed as one of 12 natural selection brews back in 2008 to support Nottinghamshire Wildlife Trust Adopt a Species campaign. It immediately won Society of Independent Brewers Midlands Supreme Champion Beer Award at Robin Hood Beer Festival, and followed by this success by winning the SEBA National Strong Bitter title, as well as a Bronze Strong Bitter Champion Beer of Britain 2013. Brewed to export strength, this strong, well-hopped Indie Pale Ale has become a firm favourite with followers of the style. Yeah, and I got it right. I'm just looking at what it says on. Sometimes you do reviews and you question yourself if you've got it right. And I've looked on the nose, hoppy on the nose, which I got right. Pale amber, so gold amber, yeah. And on the taste, smooth and citrus, and that it delivers. And if you think it's nice out of bottle, it's really nice also out of draft. And it's good to see how Nottingham breweries getting a foothold in some of these big supermarkets. Obviously Morrisons, pretty much one of the leaders in that respect, because of the fact that if you look at some of their beer range they've got, there's some absolute crackers amongst it. I mean, you've got your bottled beer range, you've got your craft canned beer range, and both very, very good. Anyway, back to this fella. on a miserable Monday afternoon, and obviously everyone's feeling miserable with the news at the moment. You know, if you're still following it, sometimes it's best just to batten down the hatches. Don't go out, stay in, and put some TV on, or play games, or enjoy life, at least for the next God knows how long. Now on it says fresh upfront bitterness. Yes, it did. When I first drank it, as you would have seen a few minutes ago, it was like, ooh. So definitely good, and it's got a long hop finish. And it just lasts quite nicely, the taste. One of them beers, very good summer beer, obviously. And drink chilled, lovely, but drink it a bit warmer. Brings out more of the complexities of it. And I know, because I've had it before, so. In fact, when it came as part of Sainsbury's Best of Britain thing that they did, sadly don't do it anymore. It's like Morrisons now, are the only ones doing beer festivals. But when it came out in that, it sold massively in the shops. We couldn't get enough at Sainsbury's. I mean, I ramped up the numbers because I worked at Arnold Sainsbury's at the time. And I ramped up the numbers to try and get more in. And it ran out very quickly. I suppose they only had a certain amount per store allocated, but I got a lot in, and it sold so fast. And so that shows you, because there was some that didn't sell. And always, and it wasn't at a reduced price. You know, it was at a normal price. Now, obviously, now this goes on sale today officially. Anyway, I mean, I got it on Saturday. Yeah, goes on sale officially today, Monday. The 30th of March, and it's like £1.65 or thereabouts, and it's on a 4 for £6 deal. What's not to go and get, you know, a few of them? Obviously you'd only be able to pick 3 up at this moment in time because of restrictions, but I dare say they'll lift at some stage, because once everybody's had their fussy, then I would have thought they'd start, and the supermarkets ramp up all their deliveries and that. I would think that it will all go back to normal within a month. I can't see it lasting too long. Supermarkets are very good at with their systems in place. But yeah, what a beauty of a beer. Now, Harvest Pale. We'll talk a little bit about Harvest Pale. Harvest Pale, from their range, is another champion beer of Britain. And I find the 3.7% version that they get in draft is better than the 4.3% version that appears in shops. Don't know why that is, but yeah, much nicer, in my opinion anyway. Anyway, back to this fella. So, Castle Rock Brewery, if you didn't know, if you ever come to Nottingham and to the Robin Hood Beer Festival, they have a big stand on there with a lot of their beers, and they have like I won't say trial beers, but when it was at the castle, which is next to my workplace, funnily enough, and I did actually work there, they had a separate area. They had the Castle Rock bar with all their main stuff on, and then they had like I can't think of the word. They had a separate little bar near the entrance with some of their not guest brews, but experimental brews. That's the word I was trying to get to. Got there in the end, 10 years later. Obviously big around Nottingham, but a very good brewery. I'm not sure if they do an online, where you can buy online. Living so close, I normally just go to the pubs and get myself a nice pint if I want it. Screech Owl and Harvest Pale being the two that I normally go for. Although Elsimo, oh, that's an absolute stunner of a beer as well, and that's available in big shops. If you haven't tried it before, brilliant. Kiss Me Kate, I'm sure it's called Kiss Me Kate. Anybody from Castle Rock watches this, it was Kiss Me Kate, and I personally think that's worth a rerun, you know, like, because that was a fantastic beer. And obviously we all like Kate Middleton and Prince William. Won't say anything about the other two, but Although I've got no beef with them, you know, as someone who suffers with anxiety, I totally understand that they want to get away from the horrible media in this country. But anyway, back to the beer. That went down surprisingly well, full of taste. The hops, the bitterness, it really hits you well. I think it's smoother when it's slightly warmer. I've had this when it's warmer. It's freezing in here. It's absolutely Baltic at the moment. But I've had this when it's warmer. And I find it more smoother when it's warmer than it is when it's colder. Is that a thing, or am I just dreaming? Sometimes you need 2 pints, don't you? You need a pint of warm and you need a pint of cold. And do the review. It'd be a long review though, because I rattle on for ages. So, golden to amber in colour, white head. Very hoppy on the nose, I thought. On the taste, yeah, the citrus comes through and that initial burst of bitterness. And yeah, you can really taste it for quite a while. What it is an absolute quality beer. I mean, I've been in the pub and I've drank this all night long. So, definitely very sessionable. 5.5%. 5.5%, that's sessionable. And I'm absolutely pleased as punch that one of my local breweries, because obviously I'm from Nottingham, born in Nottingham, raised in Nottingham, live in Nottingham, worked at the Arboretum, the Castle, and now on the Park Estate. And for me, I love to see, you know, you want your local firms to do good, especially when it's a decent beer as well. Out of 5 then. Got a good taste, as good as it's always ever been. 4.4 out of 5. Yeah, well worth a try. There's a reason why it sold out so quick when it was in that beer competition. Although sadly it didn't win it, but all them things are bloody rigged anyway. And I think it'll do great for Morrisons. It'd be great, especially in Nottingham, anyway. And across the country. So, Screech Owl. Get yourself some. While you can. Cheers. Thanks for watching. See you soon. And stay safe, obviously.